Hey y'all, this is Chelsea Long coming to you from the President's Club here at the Alliance. I want to bring you a quick training today to go over our debt reduction program options that you can now offer your clients. During this training, I want to cover the different programs that we have and the different features of each of those programs, and then we'll wrap it up with the process. So once you find debt, what to do next. So I'm going to share my screen to get started. Awesome. So we have 3 different programs that we can offer clients who have debt. Each of our programs have different parameters on the types of debt, amount of debt, and length of debt that they will accept into the program. So this is a good sheet to review before you submit a case for a debt client. The 3 programs that we have are our assumption program, our settlement program, and our validation. You are mainly going to use our assumption and settlement programs with clients. Our validation program is really only used for clients that have debts that are just in collections or they are severely delinquent in their payments. So I want to focus more on the assumption and the settlement options. So a couple of variations between the 2 programs. With assumption, it is accepted in most states. The only 2 states that it is not accepted in is Maryland and Oregon. So you do have a greater net of people that can be accepted into the assumption program based on where they live. The total minimum debt required in order to be considered for the assumption program is a total of $15,000 in unsecured debts. So I will go over what the unsecured debts are in just a second. You need a minimum of 2 accounts to enroll, and each of the account has to have at least a $1,000 balance. So if you have a credit card that has $800 on it, we would not be able to accept it into the assumption program as an example. The max that we can enroll for our assumption program is $24,000 per account. So each of the accounts that you enroll, if they are more than $24,000, then we could look at doing like balance transfers to get the card balance underneath that limit so that we can enroll it into the program. Or if they're really close to that $24,000 max, then maybe they can make a couple of payments to pay it down, and then we'd be able to enroll it. The total max that we can enroll is $250,000. So if your client has more than that, then we're going to have to look at the settlement option if they are in a state that offers settlement as an option. The program length for our assumption program is 36 months, and we're able to give them a debt reduction of 45%. With our settlement, so settlement is accepted in about half of the states right now. This is an updated list to the right of that chart. All of the states colored in blue currently accept debt settlement as a program that they will offer. One fun fact, if you were here when we first enrolled this program, Maryland is now an acceptable state for the settlement option. So folks in Maryland, you now have an option for the debt reduction program. A little bit different than assumption, settlement will take a lower minimum debt load. So if your client has at least $8,000 in debt, they will be accepted into the settlement program. And each of the accounts needs to have at least $500 on it in order to qualify. We can accept 1 debt with settlement. So if they just have 1 large debt that they're looking to kind of take care of, settlement's probably going to be their best option. And there is no max per account or total max for them to enroll in settlement. The term length for the settlement program is anywhere between 12 and 48 months. It does vary based on the amount of debts they have, the number of debts that they have, and how long they've had those debts. And so they're able to negotiate a settlement anywhere between 40 to 70% of the original debt amount owed. So with validation, again, you're mainly going to use this for folks that just have cards that are in collections or are severely delinquent, but they also have $8,000 minimum requirement, and there needs to be at least $500 per account for us to enroll it, with a maximum per account of $25,000. And they can only accept up to a maximum of 15 accounts. And it is also a 36-month program, and it is accepted in 47 states, not available in Georgia, Maine, or Maryland. So if you're like, I'm not sure what my client can qualify for, what it's not going to qualify for, the first step that you want to do is look at the debts that they have. So we can only accept unsecured debts into our debt program. So this is debts like credit cards, gas cards, store cards, private student loans. We can also take medical debts as long as they are in a third-party collections agency. So if the medical debts still lie with the original creditor, we would not be able to enroll that in our account or into our programs at this time. We can also take personal loans, bank loans, and there is case-by-case exceptions, and so that's part of what our job is here in the President's Club, is to help you qualify those debts that your client has. So once you have a client that has debt, the next step is to fill out our debt questionnaire. This debt questionnaire is found on naauniversity.com under Advanced Resources. We keep the most up-to-date questionnaire posted on that site. So you would just download that form and fill it out with your client. The big thing that we're going to need to know is who the creditor is that they owe debt to, how much they owe to that creditor, what the monthly payment that they're making is, and are they getting their statements by mail or online. And then there is other questions on there that we ask to help us get a full picture of your client's situation so that we can offer the best program options once we're able to qualify all of their debts. So once you've completed that debt form, you would take that and you collect all of the statements and collection letters that the client wishes to enroll into the program, and you would email that to fixmydebt@naaleads.com. Once we receive that email, we'll review the case and start to qualify those debts and create a program option for your client, and then we'll email you back to schedule a call to go over with you and the client the program options, the monthly payments, and answer any questions that they have. The first call is really just to provide information and provide options to your client so they have, they have different options on what they can do with their debt situation. If they're interested in moving forward after that first call, then we would schedule a second meeting, and that would be the enrollment call. From that point, they would be placed in a debt program that best suits their needs, and then your client would be assigned a rep within that prospective company, whether it be with assumption or settlement or validation, and the debt company would kind of take over communications from there. So that is the process in a nutshell. Enough information to kind of get you in the field and get you going. If you have any questions, feel free to call us here at President's Club at 336-227-3319, extension 1200. Or you can also email your questions to fixmydebt@naaleads.com, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions. But big thing is, download that questionnaire form, find some clients that have debts, and just get that stuff filled out and turned in. The best way to learn how to sell these programs is through experience. So the more clients that you can find and turn it into us, we will walk you through all of that, and you'll learn a little bit as you go along. So don't be afraid, reach out for help, and thank you for plugging into this training today.